Hey, Don and Janine here again. And today we're going to talk about why is simple better? I'm going to let Janine kick it off because I know that we're both learning in this area. And that's partly why we decided to offer this masterclass series.
I know in the beginning of my business, I was trying to do everything. I was taking all of the advice, I was taking all of the classes, all of the freebies, everything. And I was moving forward in my business, but I wasn't really moving forward. Like it was that case of if everything that I was giving attention to was in a line and I was trying to push and they were each a weight, I was trying to push all of these weights ahead at one time. And it was creating chaos in my mind, my emotions, everything. Because even the simplest tasks, we like to overcomplicate things with our emotions, um, and our mindset because it's something new and unaware and something that we haven't dealt with yet. And so what happened is trying to push it all ahead. It was all moving ahead very slowly, but not making any real satisfying changes. And so what I realized is I was taking all of the advice from everybody and I wasn't actually narrowing it down and listening to myself and my intuition and what do I need right now? What is my focus right now? And really simplifying it to a focus. Because if you think of all of those weights, if you were to remove all of those weights and you just had one, it would be, oh, forward, no problem. Next one, forward, no problem. And we're overcomplicated things. And it's from the mindset point of view, it's a way of slowing ourselves down. And for myself, I wasn't fully believing in myself. And so I was using these things as distraction to keep myself from actually hitting success. Now, I know, Don, you said you really have been working on simplifying yourself. What's your experience been?
Yeah, I think I have always felt like I have to know everything. I know I'm not alone in this, but I have to know every detail to make sure that it's really going to be done right, that somebody else doesn't have a better way to do it, and I'm not going to be missing a step. And so then things don't get put out there because I'm very busy learning those things. And that becomes incredibly complicated, like you said, because there are so many different options, so many different opinions, so many different points of view, right? So again, just like you, if you're trying to push all of those things and make sure you hit every single area and move that forward, it is a struggle. It's exhausting. It leads to burnout. I would say there's times where I've just felt like I don't enjoy my business because I'm so busy just wading through tasks and ideas. And so I think that's the beauty of simplifying is deciding and having a really clear path, which is probably one of my favorite things is sitting down and really finding clarity with someone and saying, okay, here is where you are, where you're going. And this is all you need to do to get there. So let's get rid of all the extra that's getting in the way and overwhelming you and actually make this clear, simple steps. And then when you get to that place, if you want to add in stuff, I mean, that's the great part, right, Janine, is we go back and tweak.
Yeah. And it's the beautiful thing. You get really good at this one area rather than all areas. And that's how you're building a foundation. So then you can build on it. Okay, what's the next area that I'm ready to implement? What's the next area? But it's one piece at a time because then you become the master. I can't remember the phrase quite exactly. Is it uh, tradesman of all, master of none, or something like that, where you're doing all of the things, but you're not actually mastering anything. So it's that quality over quantity dilemma. And I think that's something that comes in all areas. And how do you want to, and how do you get to show up?
Yeah. And I think the other thing too is if you find that you're constantly feeling overwhelmed, that's a really good indicator that you definitely are overcomplicating. Because I think sometimes people are like, well, I'm just doing what I have to do. Like, this is how it has to be done. But when you're in it, you think that, right? But if you feel overwhelmed or exhausted or not really loving what you're doing the way you did, then that's a pretty good indicator that you're overcomplicating.
Yeah. And I think you said it beautifully. What do I have to? So watch those have tos in your lives because they will suck your battery dry. Like, and they will suck the joy out of your everyday and your life. So really be mindful of those have tos. So we want to take this conversation to you and hear from you in the Facebook group. Where are you overcomplicating your life or your business? We can't wait to have that conversation with you.